Hi guys, I'm Ishita of 12 Young Fields podcast. Today we got Raza with us, and he's an artist, illustrator, painter. He makes amazing portraits and stuff. And Tanya is not with us today because she got her practical, but you gotta have to work with me. So Raza, introduce yourself.
Hey Tha, what is up? If you do not know who I am, hi guys, I'm Raza and I'm here and I'm an artist and illustrator from North India. I create almost every single day. Art is the only way I can reflect myself and yeah,
Okay, that's nice. Have you been drawing and making paintings and stuff since you were a kid?
I've been drawing ever since I could hold a pencil. And since then, I was drawing like every single day. But now it has been pretty less. I'm drawing pretty less these days because of like school, and I think school kills creativity, and I hate that, and that's why I hate going to schools.
Definitely. Even I remember my art classes, they were never fun for me. And I also didn't like drawing just because it was always this image kind of that you have to draw certain things from the book that was given to us.
Exactly.
Yeah. But now I like to draw human figures sometimes, and I like it sometimes only.
I draw whatever I wanted to draw these days. But when in school you have been given this certain topic to draw, and it's kind of annoying because that's the same repetitive topics that they are giving to us. And it's annoying and it's traditional and it's like not interesting and not creative at all. I'm sorry to all those art teachers out there, but you need to explore certain things.
Okay, we need to
You
be
don't
sorry to
think?
my mother as well because she's an art and craft teacher.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I never realized it. But the traditional approach is not going. There's so much things out there which is not like I've seen fine arts students. They are just being teachers, art teachers. They are not using their degree to the full potential. But if we compare NIFT, if you don't know about NIFT or NID, I don't know. But the thing is that fine arts and all those stuff are like pretty outdated, and our teachers' topic are pretty outdated. So they need to like improve and upgrade. Look for things that are like being used in today's world, not 20 years back.
Definitely true. And I think in this case, my mother is a great teacher because she teaches children to make art from waste material. She does this all the time. She picks up anything and she makes it into something else. It's very
Hands off to
fascinating
your
and
mother.
amazing. Yeah. And she loves to do all this stuff. And my living room is filled and full of all the stuff she has made. She paints bottles. She, I don't know, turns whiskey bottles into vases.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. So,
It's
not
great.
okay, thank you. So, we are gonna start with the things you were told as a boy about your mental health. I don't know how you should act as a boy just because you're a boy. I think
I hate toxic masculinity. People out there like always tell you you have to dress in a certain way, you have to talk in a certain way. Boys, even I've heard boys don't do art. Like all the famous artists are males, and you're saying that males don't do art. That doesn't make any sense to me. I've been told that you talk in a very feminine way. You are very feminine. This is a part of me. I am feminine, and I'm completely fine with it. Like if I think if I would have not been feminine enough, I would have not be thriving on Instagram like this. So I think that's what helped me. And at first, I was pretty bothered about it. People used to tell me that you're like this or you're not masculine enough or something like that. So I used to get pretty disappointed and discouraged. But now I don't care about all this stuff. It's just me. I accept it the way I am and I'm happy about it. And people like get mad about it that why, how can you accept yourself like that? I can, I am, and I will. It's my life and I'll be who I want to be.
That's amazing because there's, as you said, a lot of stigma as well with how you present yourself.
Exactly.
You have to talk a certain way, you have to do things a certain way, dress a certain way. I mean, it's all bullshit and it's all tiring, to be honest. And you just, at one point, when you realize, okay, they have been shitting on me all my life, I need to take charge of it. You're like, I don't care, and you do your thing. And that's the best thing about growing mentally and just growing up. Yeah. You also shared that you faced bullying.
Yeah, like my entire life. Like
Mm-hmm.
not now,
Mm-hmm.
but when I started my art page, I was like pretty talkative at that time. So I used to put my story like talking and like talking about certain topics and all that stuff, like just to engage with my audience. And at that time, I don't think so. I have many followers, like 500 or 400 followers I have. So people used to make fun of it. They used to record the video of it, and then that video like is circulated among the boys group. And then whenever I walk past them, they used to talk about it, they used to play that video. Like, I don't know how can somebody do that. Like, if somebody is speaking in English, or like is a very feminine or has a feminine voice, it's okay. It's not under their control, right? So that's what I wanted to put that out. That why you bully others? No, it doesn't make sense. You're just putting them down to put yourself up. And you know how I cope up with this? I've read a quote somewhere, or I think it's somewhere in the reel section. I've came across this quote. It goes like, there will be always someone jealous of you. Having haters is actually a clear sign that you're doing something right. So don't ever give them the satisfaction of reaction to their own insecurities. So that's what I've learned, that this is their insecurity, not mine. I'm here to thrive. And if I'm going to put all my energy and efforts to them, then I will be left with no energy to put in my art or in my career that I wanted to put in. So that's the reason.
True. And I'm very proud of you and glad that you decided to ignore them and, rise above them to do your thing. That's very powerful in a way.
You know what? Everybody's gonna die and nobody's gonna remember you.
Yeah,
So fuck it.
yeah, that's my motto.
Exactly. Why you hate on others? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't hate others. Like, if I don't like certain people or I don't like certain things, I just don't follow them. I just ignore them. I just stay away from them. Why can't you guys do that? Like, they just hate. They just hate. And I don't know what they get from hating on others. Maybe
True.
their ego satisfied.
I don't know. You told me that you heard the bullying episode. So they, as they term it as a mazak, they are doing mazak in their own way. But
Exactly. That's the worst. You know,
yeah,
I've related with that word the most. How can you term a certain thing a mazak when you know you've been like pretty intentional to be saying certain things you're saying like intentionally, so all the bad stuff, and now you term that thing as a mazak. It's not mazak, भाई. मजाक पता भी क्या होता है? मजाक पोलाइटली करा जाता है जिनसे इंसान हंस पाए, ऐसा नहीं कि आप बोलते चले
true.
जाओ और सामने वाले को बुरा
Fucking
लग जाए.
hurts. Yeah, it hurts. So, how did your page help with your mental health and how it helped you grow and improve yourself?
I was pretty miserable at that time when I started my page. At one point, I even quit, but then I decided to get back to it because there are people who care about me, who care about my work, who like gets inspiration from me. So it's my duty to provide them and to make them feel happy. And like people come to me like, you're such a happy personality and you spread positivity. People slid into my DMs and like ask for certain questions, and I ask like reply in a very positive way, in a very friendly way. So they used to like always like, how you're so positive, and like give me some tips. I'm not positive, it's just what I'm faking it. There, because there are people out there who care for it. If I started spreading negative vibes out there, then they are started grabbing it. They're going to grab it like all the negative vibes, and I don't want that. I want you to have positive vibes and all that stuff. So I fake it, and now I kind of feel that way. But at night, like I cry. Genuinely, I cry almost every single day because of certain things. It's not because of someone bullying or because I don't give them shit now. It's because of some problems, Like I'm a very emotional person, and I get emotional every single night. But it's just that I don't put out there on Instagram. People think that like Instagram is the entire life. No, it's just a fragment. Nothing comes unfiltered on Instagram. Everything is filtered. And I think people should know this. Like, if I'm a happy personality, if I'm not posting that, doesn't mean I'm upset or something like that. It's just maybe I'm busy so anywhere else or maybe anything like that. But it's just that I fake it till I make it.
That's the best mindset to have, I think, I suppose. But I don't think you should fake it with your loved ones. I hope you don't do that.
Nah, I don't do that. I just like, if I'm unhappy with them, I try to like cover it up so they don't feel about themselves that I'm hurt because of them. It's just that when it like the bucket is filled with all the negative thought, then I burst out of tears, and then I started telling, okay, so you said this and I'm hurt because of these words and these words. So they used to be like, okay, so you have to tell me earlier why you do all this stuff, and like we should like talk a little more with our family. That's what I lack always. And I think the more we talk with the friends and families, the more we feel relieved. It's just what I think. I don't know about others, but it's what I believe, because they help you to forget things. They may not remove the problem from your life, but they will help you to forget it. So family and friends are important. And choose the right ones when it comes to the friends.
You were saying how your art page has helped you and like you spread positivity, but you, even though when you don't feel like you're positive, you try your best to be as friendly and positive as possible, right? It,
Yes, because people are looking for me, rooting for me. So, I can't be negative for them. It's
yeah,
because of them I'm happy. So
that's
thank you
nice.
for the people who supports. We
Yep.
love good supporting community.
Yep, we do definitely. And you also shared that how with your family and your loved ones, you tend to keep things in yourself and not share if they ever hurt you.
Yeah, I don't share that often what I'm feeling at that moment. And, when I'm angry or something, I don't usually share because at that time I usually speak all rubbish. So I tend to cool down first and then talk about things just to so that we can sort things out, not fight. So that's what I do. And, communicating with friends is hard because family is there for you. You know they're not going to leave you, but friends, you have to be very careful in terms of talking. Like I'm dealing with things right now, so I know how it's like, sorting things out between friends. Things never work out. Whenever I try to sort things out, it get worse from there because I'm trying to sort things out. The person in front of me is not trying at all. So I just let things be there and let things sort itself because sometimes you can't do anything. You just have to leave things where they are and they'll sort itself. So that's what I think it is.
Yeah, I think that's the case with my family. But I think the smarter move is, I believe, not to say anything at that moment. But after some time, you can, go to them and be like, earlier we were doing this, or you said something like this. So it was kind of rude and mean, and it hurt me. I also struggle with the same thing as you do, but this is a smarter move. And as for friends, I do not have many friends, and I do not mind that. There are three friends I got, like three loving friends. Besides that, I have friends. So with them, whenever there's any miscommunication or anything that hurt me. So in case of Tanya and I, first of all, it used to be like we didn't used to say anything ki you did that, you were mean to me, this text I didn't like. But now it has grown and evolved so much that we understand each other on such a good level that whenever anything happens, I'm like, we need to talk about this. Tanya is like, this is going wrong in our friendship. We need to talk about this. So I think looking out for such kind of friends who are not afraid to communicate is the deal.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm not blessed with those types of friends. I'm blessed with
Oh.
like, छोड़ो यार, ठीक हो जाएगा, छोड़ो अभी छोड़ो.
But that chodo thing na, it grows over time
हाँ,
because they are like,
it,
ki, pehle you hurted me in that way, now you hurted me in this way when
हाँ,
I didn't say anything at that time. But the bucket.
the bucket fills itself.
So, how did you manage both studies and your page? And considering the amount of followers you have, it could have been, I don't know, hard or something.
I don't really like put too much attention to that. I mainly focus on my studies, but not too much focused on that. Of course, I have a life outside the studies, so I like try to keep a balance. And when it comes to the art page, I feel creative all the time. So whenever I'm not going to school, that means I'm making something at home. And my teachers also know. I have a pretty low attendance, and teachers used to complain, like always complain about this thing, why your attendance is this. So one day I told them that I'm pretty interested in art. I have this number of followers and I have to like, engaging with them and like keep posting and keep creating. So that's what I'm like pursuing in the future. So there's no way I'm going to put 100% of my energy to studies because it's going to help me in the future. But the main thing right now for me to focus is my art. And I'm pretty like my teachers also supported. So the best part is, so every time when I'm in school, like they always give me as an example, like he is like 20K followers. People are pretty famous right now. Like, no, I'm not famous. 20K is less. If we look at the like average of Instagram, 20K is still pretty less. It's normal. Now everybody is having 20K, 40K, 50K. So yeah. And whenever I don't go to school, I just draw at home and just take time out of my schedule and like click pictures, edit. It takes me 5 minutes only. So I just do and post and log out from Instagram and then do the thing that I want to do.
Yeah. So attendance low, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. I spent my pura school ka time buried in books, and it never did anything good for me besides getting me in due. And what I wanted to say that, yeah, you do a really good job by logging out of Instagram after posting. Instagram can be such a toxic place, and for real, it is a very smart move to log out. I have a lot of pages, so I have to. maintain all of them?
People think that I have good number of followers, so that means they think that I spend like most of my time on Instagram. It's not that. Like I spend average of half an hours on Instagram. Can you believe? Like half an hours, and I don't scroll through my followers post. Also, it's just that if I wanted to put something, I put a story, I put a post, and then log out. There's no going back. That's why I got your DM very late. I don't check request. I don't, because I have other things to do, and I'm not completely like putting my energy into this also. I have other works to do. Of course, we can't just neglect studies like that. We have life, we have friends, we have family. We can't just put like too much time. My mother say work as much as you want, but manage your studies and be focused, and I'll always support you. And they do always support. Like my father at first was like pretty convinced that somebody said to him that art is not a career, and that's the worst thing they have said. So my father has a mindset after that art is not a career or and stuff and that. So he started convincing me कि बेटा art में कोई career नहीं है, engineering करो, doctory करो and you will be successful. And I said no, no, I will not. And one time his friend came to my house and he said तुम like बेटा बनोगे क्या? तो my father said कि इंजीनियर बनेगा. हमने कहा ये किसने कहा? नहीं अंकल, हम इंजीनियर नहीं बनेंगे. पापा उस दिन से फिर नहीं बोलते कि लड़का मेरा इंजीनियर बनेगा. बोलते हैं आर्टिस्ट बनेगा. वो जबरदस्ती नहीं कर सकते, वो खुद भी जानते हैं. वो जब देख रहे हैं अभी इस टाइम पे कि मतलब
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying my best, I'm working hard towards my
Mm-hmm.
art, and I'm succeeding also. Like I have
Mm-hmm.
20,000 followers at this time. So he's supporting now.
That's really nice. People shouldn't downplay followers, and it's okay if you think 20K is pretty average, but 20K getting to average is also something great.
Like
And
20,000 people following you, 20,000.
yeah, and not even all 20,000 react, only like, I don't know, you tell how much of them like your post consistently.
Like 1,000 people like my post these days. Like out of 20,000, only 1,000 like.
Yeah, so that's the deal with Instagram. Sometimes I find it like such a vicious cycle it is to post and to chase followers and likes. It's tiring, to be honest.
Don't chase anything
Totally. And the thing you said about,
because
sorry, continue.
nay, you continue
You
now. I
continue. You are a
forgot.
guest. You are okay. You forgot. Okay. And you said about not, of course, going in engineering direction and stuff. People who say stuff like art is not a career, content creation is not a career, they say as if they have done it. They have done it and they failed at it 10 times. People say it like that.
Exactly.
They never got down that path and they are like, "Ki, this is not a thing to do." I mean, and people also believe them, like they said it, they believe it. No, with no proof, no basis, just because they said it.
But there are people out there, teens out there, whose parents are not convinced at all. I think you should better sit down for a minute and like tell your parents, convince them, because tell them that you're going in this direction. This is what happens next. This will happen next. So they'll try to support you. You never talk about all these things from to your parents, and now you're like this kid, my parents never supports me. So I don't think so. Just prove them that you are worth your understanding. I hope you're
Yeah, yeah,
understanding.
yeah.
I just,
I'm
you know, I'm
getting
re-
the point.
I'm out of words right now.
It's okay. You can get drink water.
Thank
Fine.
you.
Yeah. So I would like to continue with why you started. Like you said, you were drawing since you learned how to hold a pencil. Then when and why you decided to share your art with people.
I started my page at a very young age with the mindset of starting career in like 2 to 3 years. And that was funny because at that time I think I'll start my career out of my art in like 2 years. I'll quit school and all this stuff. But now my career has still not taken a boost. It's just that I'm posting and creating every single day. That's it.
Hmm. The situationship. We gotta get to the juicy stuff, right?
Oh my God. I'm not ready. Wait a minute. Let me just inhale some oxygen. We can continue now. So, situationship.
Yeah, I mean, like these kids, what is the situationship? First of all, tell me what is the situationship? I've never been in one. I'm
Situation.
excited.
Situationship is when you're in love with a person you can't be in love with. You want them for yourself, but you can't stop them from dating others.
That sounds difficult and horrible and full of jealousy. I mean,
It's
I could never.
it's like one-sided love. it's one-sided love. Like, oh my God, situationships are hard. I've been through that stage and I regret it till now because I'm invested in a person that I can't date and I can't be with. And that person is interested in someone else, which is hard. You know, seeing someone you love is interested in someone else hurts. And people don't realize it. You know, you stop them from like, don't talk to them or like just to protect themselves from others. They started to feel that why are you doing this? Because you can't say you're in love, of course, to them, you're in love or something like that. That's what situationship is.
Okay, and you want to talk about your situationship or not? Like, are you
I
over
w-
it?
I'm over it. I came across this reel on Instagram which says that if you like someone, just let them know. And don't think of the outcome, whether they're going to be your friends after that or not. Just tell them because you're eventually hurting yourself by not telling them. It's better to let them know how you feel. And that's what I did. I've told them how I feel, and it was pretty disturbing for me and for them. But it went away with the time. We're still friends.
Okay, that's nice. Staying friends after proposing. Oh, continuing. I also asked you in the recording where we didn't record. So, about the struggles you had in your relationships and like friendships in general. I'm not talking about only romantic relationships, I'm talking about platonic relationships. So, about the struggles you have in it, like how do you express yourself? Because the with the male people I have talked, they have told me that it's hard for them to share what they are feeling. And if you don't want to answer this, please let me know. That they find it hard to share what they're feeling, that they find it harder to connect deeper because it's easier for females to do that.
Uh, I don't think so. It's because of being a male or a female. It's just that how comfortable you are with that person. For me personally, with my friend, when I connect to, of course, he's a male friend. So when I connect with him, he connects really deeply sometimes. You know, it's just that I made him feel comfortable talking about certain things. We talk about lots of uncomfortable stuff that people usually don't talk about. Like, I can't even describe what we talk and like all those stuff. Like the friends talk and we talk about like our family problems, his family problems, my problems, and all those stuff. So it's just that how much you connect with that person. The more comfortable you are, the more that person is willing to share his or her emotion with you. It's not just that female are more connected or something like that. It's just that how connected you are with that person or how comfortable you are. Comfortable is the word, I'll say. Make sure you guys are comfortable with each other and just give yourself time. You can't connect with someone emotionally at a very starting stage. It takes lot of time and efforts and trust to build that emotional attachment.
Yeah, you totally make sense more than what I asked, and comfortable is the right word more than the gender you are, definitely. So, you also shared that you wanted to talk about journaling thing.
Journaling sucks for me. I don't enjoy journaling. I used to, but the more I journal, the more I realize that what's hurting me, the more I realize what's hurting me, the vulnerable I feel, the more vulnerable
Get some water, I suggest. When you start to like mumble like this, there's need of water.
I've realized through journaling, I get to know myself better. The things I don't know earlier, now I know about myself. But the worst part is the more I journal, the more bad I feel about myself, the more thoughts are there in my head because of journaling, the overthinking stuff. And the more I write about my feelings, the more I realize about them, the more I realize, the more I think of them and kind of started messing with my head. So I stopped journaling and then I stopped journaling and then I used to go through the pages and it also started somewhere affecting me deep inside. So I thought of burning my diary and I did exactly the same. I burned it to the ground and after that, I was feeling very light because all my secrets and all my thoughts were just burned at that moment. And I feel relieved after that. So it's that for me, people feel very, happy about journaling, and I don't feel the same way. I just think it messes with my head. I don't know, it's just my personal experience or somebody else facing, but that's what my experience with journaling is.
This is my first time hearing something like that about journaling, that it messed with your brain more than like. unknotting the knots. Tanya and I are big fans of journaling. Tanya has been doing it for a really long time, and whenever she's like overwhelmed or anxious, journaling is her go to thing. Because for us, journaling has been this safe place where we can unashamedly, is that a word? Where we can shamelessly accept our emotions, where there's no one to judge us. So that's the thing that we like the most about journaling. We can be true to ourselves in that place, because sometimes, and there are many things that you cannot share with your friends or loved ones because you are scared of being judged. But journaling is that kind of friend to us that does not judge us. And journaling is of different kinds. People take it too seriously, and sometimes they take it as like this is nothing. So you can do journaling in a way that works for you. In the previous recording, I told you about different methods like grateful valley, shadow work, not just ranting, because just ranting it drained me.
Guys, if you're thinking what recording we're talking about, we
Yeah.
had an entire 1 hour session and
40
she was
minutes,
not
he's
recording
40
it.
minutes.
She was not recording. So we have
Yeah,
to
no.
re-record everything.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about it. So maybe you are not used to being face on with your emotions, and it is hard to be honest, being vulnerable with yourself, seeing the parts of yourself that are always hidden, that are always kept securely locked because you don't want others to see them, because you are afraid that you will be judged if people will see that side of you. So, yeah, it can be a good space. It depends. I mean, as you said, you will start again in like after your birthday, right?
Yeah, I'll restart journaling. My birthday is on 24 March, to those who don't know. And I'll restart journaling from that day because I was starting my 18th year and I'm happy and I'm blessed that I've completed 18 years of my life
Hmm.
and I'm more than happy now. I won't have any regret if I die after 18. Of course, not before 18. I wanted to die, but there are things that I wanted to do or that stuff.
Okay. You also shared in the previous recording that podcasting was in your mental bucket list.
Exactly. I manifested this. I think that I manifested it because there's a bucket list in my brain, not a physical one. There's there in my brain which has this thing that I want a podcast with anyone. Like not anyone, but the good ones whom I can connect. So Ishita made me feel comfortable and I can connect with her. So that's the thing. I've been manifesting this from like 2022. I've been thinking about this, having a podcast to talk about myself or like getting to know someone better, just to connect, just to put your true self out there, not the perfect thing which you filtered through Instagram. Like we quite a bit chop a lot of stuff, like the polished version of me on there on Instagram, but I wanted my raw self to be there somewhere. So I think Ishita is providing me that platform to talk about, and I'm happy that she provided, and I'm grateful for her.
And I'm also very grateful because when I heard this first, that you said that you wanted to share somewhere, and honestly, this podcast for us as well, it's a platform for us to share those things that we feel like are worth sharing, because there are things that we feel like people can get help from. So we are very grateful, and I'm very grateful to Tanya that she shared me your account link, and I texted you. Very grateful for that, and that we are able to provide you a platform for real. For us, this is a big deal that we can provide a safe space for people to share their emotions and help people.
Their true selves.
Yeah, totally. So, do you want to ask any questions or like share anything to your art page, the audience?
I would say experiment
Mhm.
because experimentation leads to discovering new
Mhm.
things that you would not have tried earlier. And I do experiment every single time, like experiment with new mediums, new techniques, and just don't stick to art, like drawing part. Go behind the scenes. People ask me, how come your Instagram page is so beautiful or like aesthetically pleasing? What did you do? It's not just art that is there on Instagram that is beautiful. It's how I photograph it, how I record a video of it, how I edit it. It's what I've learned. So I've mastered all those skills in order to grow. So these are the things you have to master other things also. Like I've not started like business stuff on Instagram, like my small business or anything, even though I have ideas. It's just that I don't have knowledge about it. So when I'll master that thing, I'll start business part also on my Instagram. So just make sure you have knowledge of everything before. Like knowledge in general is helpful in everything. So just try to grab it from here and there. Just learn from it.
Yeah, totally. And I'm happy for today's generation because you are like 3 years younger than me, and I was very scared of putting myself out there and experimenting and seeing you that you're not afraid to do so, that you even made videos of yourself and posted even when you had not much of a following. And I think the people who are able to do all this stuff are very courageous, and they do not think much about the consequences and results. Rather than that, they focus on doing stuff, then what results it will give. And this is a life lesson kind of thing that people should do in everything they do. So I'm happy for you.
You know what's the best advice I'll give you?
Hmm.
You said courageous, right?
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there, but you'll never feel safe. So in order to feel safe, first you have to pretend that you're very confident and unbothered by the people. So the more you fake, the more I fake on Instagram, the more of that person I'm becoming. So there's always a gap between the person who you want to become and the person who you are. And the gap is there just because of self criticism and overthinking and new goals coming up every now and then. So the only way to bring those two together is acceptance, because you can't change the entire world according to you. All you gotta do is accept the toxicity. Don't I'm not saying that take criticism of like negative criticism. If they're hating on you, block them. Put yourself out there, fake it till you make it. That's all I'm gonna advise you with.
Yeah, definitely. I've also got this mindset of fake it till you make it because I'm kind of tired of not being able to do stuff because I'm worried about others' opinions and I'm worried that I will fail at it. But if I am not failing, that then that means I'm not trying, which is a big no-no for me now.
People think when they're putting themselves out, they're only going to receive hate. Let me
Mm.
correct you, pal. There are people out there who care for you, who are there to spread positivity and who are there to spread love. So, with the people who hate, you'll also get people who love you for who you are. So, I think you should put yourself out there and see how people react to it. There are people who are going to make you feel like you're on top of the world, you're the best, like you're the number one person in the world.
So do
Everything
you,
is going.
yeah, after the not recording part, ki
हाँ.
record नहीं हो रहा उसके बाद से सब is going haywire. So I wanted to ask you, do you think people have now two kinds of personality, like the one they have on social media and one they have on real life? I think for me, if someone sees, people will see that, oh, she records all the time. She, records herself all the time when she's outside. She talks a lot and whatever, like self improvement stuff, she's into all that. She take risk and stuff. But in real life, I'm very different from that. So do you also think that because of Instagram and social media and people putting themselves out there and posting stuff, they have created kind of two kinds of personalities of themselves?
Exactly. People nowadays are having two personalities. Even myself, the part you're seeing on Instagram is not me. It's just a part of me, a fragment, a refined, a polished version of me out there. So I'll say that people are, but there are people, like exception are there. People are there on Instagram, on all sorts of social media who are like completely true to themselves, and mainly the majority is faking, not faking in a sense in a bad way, but in a positive way. They're faking, they're inspiring others, just faking that they are happy and they did this, or just forcing even though they are struggling in life. So it's a good thing that they are having two personalities.
Okay, so you don't think it's a bad thing for them?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. That was my question. Anything else you would like to address or talk about?
No,
Are you into romantic films?
I guess rom-com.
It's a sad movie. Should I suggest?
If I don't feel too sad afterwards.
Hopefully, I watched it at night and I slept. उसके बाद मैं ऐसे मैं बहुत sad हूँ but सोना भी जरूरी है. It's One Day. It has I don't know how to pronounce her name right. Anne Hathaway, the Devil's Wear Prada actress. Yeah, she. And there's another film, One Fine Day. That is also a great movie. The One Fine Day is not a sad one, but One Day has a sad ending. So choose wisely. They are
It's
both good
upon me.
movies. Yeah,
You're playing
totally up
safe
to
right
you.
now.
Yeah, you do you want to ask any questions like as you're exiting your late teens?
I don't know there's anything that I would love to point out or something. It's just that I'm having the best time right now, even though I'm not like very emotionally fit, I'll say. People sometimes don't take mental health very seriously. It's
Mm-hmm.
like in India in particular, people don't take mental health very seriously, but I'm experiencing all these emotions right now. So I kind of know how, we feel, one feels. So I think I'm having the best time and the worst. So it's okay. It's just like we can't do anything about it. We have to deal with it. And as we grow older, as we mature, we learn to cope up with things better.
Yeah. Okay, Raza. Any final words for our audience? Because you already said your final words to your audience. If you want to say it to them
Everybody,
again.
before leaving, I'll just say everybody's gonna die. Nobody's gonna remember you. Billie Eilish said, I'm gonna say this again.
Hmm.
Fuck it. Slay
Yeah.
out there. People gonna judge. Let them judge. You be you and just fuck it. Thank
Yeah.
you for having me on this podcast. I really enjoyed the time we had together and all those conversation we had that did not make it into this podcast.
I am so guilty about that. I'm so sorry, but Raza, it was really nice having you, and it was amazing talking to you and taking your perspective. Hopefully, I will understand my brother better now. And thank you for coming on our podcast and sharing your experiences with us.
Thank you for having me. Bye.